Hello everyone! My goodness, it has been a minute since I have made a vlog, but there's a lot going on in life. As I'm speaking, it's been about 4.5 weeks since I've actually painted, which feels crazy and intimidating and daunting, but let's dive into what's been going on and why. Okay, to start this off with a happy note, I did go to Italy for about 15 days in country, which was amazing. I love that country so much. I adore so many things about it. So that was a really great trip away. I got to go with my husband. If you follow this channel, you saw my Italy sketches, in which case you know that I took some art supplies there, but I did a bunch of photography, and as always, we're a very adventurous couple, so we don't really do much sitting on the beach and relaxing. We are like hiking 12 miles a day to go find secret spots and new spots and see the things and eat the food, and we do as much as we can in those days. So it was great. I love that we got to go. However, when we got back, so we did take a few days to kind of recover and get back to our sleep schedule because we were waking up at like 2 in the morning and eating at really weird times. It was just typical jet lag stuff. All of that took a few days to kind of get situated again, which then led into the last week and a half, which we have had massive wildfires break out while our house has remained safe, and I am beyond grateful for that. It was on neighbors' ranches and properties. They got very out of control and a lot of destruction was done. So my husband and I were actually trying to help out with the fires as much as possible. He was on equipment actually doing the things. There was a few nights I went and helped. I also was running back and forth to town, which was an hour away, to go get parts for any machines that needed it, just to kind of keep everyone running. It was a crazy time. Typically we were getting an hour and a half to maybe 3 hours of sleep a night because fires were blowing up at night because of winds, and it's a lot. We're talking on radios and coordinating, and people drop out of cell service, and like fires come on really fast, which puts people in very dangerous situations. It's high emotion. People are losing ground. It's just a lot to deal with. And we basically did not sleep for a solid week and a half. And with that, there was at one point, there was so much lightning going on around our house. I was very legitimately concerned for spot fires. So I emergency packed up our house, and it's a rough time, and my heart goes out to everyone who has had to evacuate, people who have had forest ground burn up, and yeah, it took everyone banding together and helping and doing what they could to kind of push through it and make it okay. But because of the evacuations and the mayhem and all of that, there was no way art was going to get done. It is not the time and the place to sit down and be creative, especially when you're worried that your entire house potentially might burn down. So no artwork was done. I definitely was not in the state of mind to be able to sit and focus on it. So with that, I am in the art studio, and yeah, it is a little intimidating to kind of just go back into it, but there's really nothing else to do at this point. Yesterday, I spent the day planning my next art series so that I could kind of just step foot into the art studio, not worry about creating art, but just plan stuff, get photos and references prepped, get an idea of like the flow, what order I want to do stuff in, and yeah, and that basically took all day because it's a lot of planning and organizing and make sure that I want this reference over that reference and just getting everything organized. But I did that, which means today we are in fact ready to paint. On top of that, the other big change that I've had is after being in Italy, I did some thinking about my business. If I was to be completely honest, I basically have not taken a single day off this year, other than days where I literally couldn't. Like, I was pushing myself so hard that there have been a few days in the year that I was so tired on a deep level that I just couldn't. So I would basically just end up sleeping the whole day to reset, and then I'd go right back to it, which is not good. That's not good life balance. It's easy for me to do because I work hard. That's my nature, and I love what I do. So it's really easy for me to give that much, but it's not smart long term. And being in Italy really kind of made me analyze that and reevaluate what I was doing. And now that I've done my business rebrand, I'm feeling really confident in the direction it's going. I think it's really time to kind of hone in on the workflow for myself so that there is work-life balance, because rest is so important. And I know that, but because I was in such a startup phase, I could have, but I'm glad that I didn't. I'm glad that I'm here now making this decision now, because the startup phase does just require a lot, and I'm happy to give it. But now we're looking into like long-term future. How do I do this forever in a way that works for both me and my husband? And it just, big scale, will work for a very long time. So I went from basically taking no days off, where even if I did, I was still so mentally consumed with work or thinking about something or listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos or studying something and feeling guilty about not showing up to the art studio. Instead of that, we are transitioning into the new era where I'm setting a schedule for myself where I work 5 days a week. I get the weekends off. Feels crazy. I was gonna start with 6 days on, 1 day off, but I want to challenge myself to take days off. And on these days off, it is like, if I want to stay in my PJs and watch Netflix all day, fine, guilt-free, don't worry about it. If I want to sit outside in the sun for hours, also fine, no guilt, that sort of thing. Like, it just has it's a set schedule where I am allowed to turn my brain off from business and work and just create that separation, because I live where I work, and that has been very hard up until this point. On that note, I will say one of my strong suits, one of the things that I have above a lot of people, is my discipline. I can push it to the point of detriment. I can be so disciplined that it is actually detrimental to me. But nevertheless, discipline is definitely a superpower of mine. I'm very good at relying on discipline over anything else. And I love that about me. I'm so grateful that that is a characteristic that comes very naturally to me. So instead of fighting it and being like, oh, just go with the flow and be chill, that doesn't really work for me. But what does work for me is being disciplined. So if I kind of change the way that I think about my work, and I work 5 days a week, I'm disciplined between the hours that I work, where like no distractions, no this or that, no doing house chores, none of that. Be disciplined in those hours, those 5 days a week that I need to show up and work and really work. And again, use my discipline to also say, no, come Saturday and Sunday, I'm off. I'm not working. I'm not going above and beyond. Like, I need to respect that in myself, that those are times for me. Like I said, if I want to just stay in my PJs and watch Netflix, so be it. Like, more power to me. There's other things I can do too, but it's still, I am using one of my superpowers to help train me relax a little. I am very much looking forward to this. I haven't yet implemented it because of the wildfires, that it was, wildfires don't wait for people. So that was a 7 day a week sort of situation, but I'm going to start to incorporate that in. I'm really excited to see how it feels. Already I can feel myself really looking forward to it, whereas before I was trying to fit so many little things into a day that I wasn't doing all of them all that well. And that's not entirely true, because I was still doing things well, but it was like there was just so many little things a day that it was like I was getting kind of decision fatigue, or like there was just so much that I was transitioning between that it's really hard to just fully dive in and like surround yourself with just one thing. Yeah, hopefully this is making sense, but I think I'm over explaining because I'm really excited about it, and I can already feel that it's going to create better balance once I can actually implement it and these fires stop. But that's what's been going on, and that's also why I haven't painted in 4.5 weeks. But here we are, stalling. Just kidding, I'm catching you up, and I wanted to share my work week with you because I would bet there's a lot of people that can identify with that. But so those are all new things, and right now I'm just kind of sitting down trying to remember how to paint. If I was being completely honest, the things that are going on in my head right now are the things that I left feeling really confident in, but that were kind of newish intuitive skills. And that was, before I left, I felt like I really started to intuitively grasp the sense of like color and value and their relation to one another, where I wasn't going too dark with the darks. I was picking really good colors for the shadows, and just my sense of like color picking in order to like express and create this contrast while keeping them in a very realistic value range was spot on. And I'm afraid that I've lost it. But there's only one way to find out, I guess, and that's by doing. The only way to get better at painting is to paint. So maybe it is time to just dive in.